topic today is returning to work after psychological disability for Teamster members. In the workplace, people can become very stressed to the point that supervisors and management have hard to be aware of the effect, where people come home thinking about the injustice done. And the main cause of the stress is injustice, being treated unfairly. When a person perceives they're being treated unfairly, they will have a strong stress reaction, an anger reaction, of feeling out of control and vulnerable. The cure for many of the psychological disabilities is fairness training. And I wrote a book called Law of the Key Factor, where I teach how to train management to be fair. Without fairness, no management technique can work. It has to be built on understanding what is fairness and what is justice in the workplace. And we have to understand that all negativity, under all negativity, is vulnerability. So when people are unfair, supervisor, management, who, by the way, become stressed out themselves. Some supervisors are caught between management and the workers. The management's putting pressure to lean harder on the workers are giving them a problem back, so they're stressed as well. But underneath the injustice is typically vulnerability. The vulnerability could be the company is losing money, or they need to show a greater return, a greater profit margin to the shareholders in the company. For instance, we have many people from UPS. It's a publicly traded company. Bottom line is, what are they going to show the shareholders? Now, fortunately, we have a union. With unions, not everybody's unionized, but particularly we're talking about primarily Teamster people. With a union, there's some protection, fortunately. Capitalism, which is the most excellent system in the world, but it has to be with social responsibility. Otherwise, capitalism with no sense of social responsibility, no sense of morality or fairness, it can become a monster where the worker becomes extremely exploited and abused. But with social responsibility, and the union then is that element of social responsibility. Say, you can't treat the man this way. You can't treat this woman that way. That's not acceptable. It's not fair, and it's against the bylaws, and it's encoded in a very strict set of rules and regulations. And a good shop steward, a good business agent can really take matters to task and do a great job. And you have some great shop stewards and great business agents and leaders within the Teamsters. And like in all places, there's some people who care a lot, and there are people who don't care. Doesn't matter what the organization is. But it was founded on the brotherhood of the worker and the worker's rights. That's the true spirit of it. And some members in the Teamsters and other unions still have that spirit. Others don't. So the vulnerability of management goes like this. Let's look at a case that I hear often. A new supervisor comes on board, and he starts leaning on somebody. Somebody might have a great work record, and all of a sudden, this new supervisor is leaning on the person. You did this wrong, you did that wrong, writing him up, following him around, and giving him a hard time. Now, the new supervisor doesn't even know the job. I have people who've worked 25 years, 20 years, 15 years, and somebody new comes in, and they're leaning on them hard. And the person knows, well, this is not the way, this is the way. We've been doing this. You're new. But the person comes in, feels they have to make their bones, so to speak. They're not secure with their authority, so that they feel they have to do something to earn the title, to earn the respect. And so they do it by leaning on somebody and putting undue pressure. This is because the person is not understanding fairness in the situation. And it takes a certain degree of humility to say, you know what? In some ways, you know this work better than I do. That's a fair statement. In some way, a supervisor or manager would have to say, you're the expert, and I'm going to learn from you. When I had a photography business, and it was a very successful business, I used to say to the photographer, you're the expert. I'm not a photographer. I said to the salesman, you're the experts on sales. I'm not a salesman. I said, tell the telemarketing department, you're the telemarketers. You're much better than me at this. And I would listen to them and put together. All I was able to do was coordinate everything, and was successful. But you have to be willing to say somebody knows what they're doing better than you do. And that's a hard thing for people to do. But it goes a long way. You're the expert. We have people in this room that have been working 25 years for UPS, 20 years. And you have new people coming along and telling them they're doing it all wrong or whatever. So we have a lot of stories like that.